All right, guys, this is part 2 of the modeling of the castle. And so we have the castle walls, the catwalk, and the cornice blocks done. So the first thing that we're going to do we're going to build the tower now. So we're going to go to top view by hitting number pad 7. And then we are going to go into wireframe mode, which we already are. And so we're going to zoom in. And so now if you don't know how I'm moving my cursor around, I'm holding down the shift button, and then I'm holding down my middle mouse button, and then I'm moving. Well, if it would work, this would be good. There we go. I'm moving it so that it will go down. Of course, it doesn't want to work now. There it goes. Gosh, I was being finicky tonight. All right, so we're going to put our 3D cursor right here in the corner, right here. Okay, and this is where our plane is going to go that we are about to add. So we are in object mode, that's what we want to make sure. And then we are going to hit Shift A, and we are going to add a mesh plane. Okay, over here in the 3D properties, we want to set those dimensions on X and Y to be both 6. So X dimension 6, Y dimensions to be 6. Okay, so it's made it that big. So then the next thing that we want to do is we want to go to the front view. So that is number pad 1. And look, gracious look how far down that tower is. And so we obviously want to make sure that it moves to, we're going to use your blue widget arrow, and we're going to move that just right there. So it's even with the bottom of your castle. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into tab mode, and then we are going to hit the extrude key. And so we are going to, let me zoom in on this a little bit. We're going to hit the tab key, and then where our vertices are already selected, so let's go ahead and hit E, and then we're going to extrude up a little bit. Do you see that blue line? That tells me already that I'm on the Y axis, and so I don't need to hit the Y. But if we needed to, we could do that. Now you're going to raise it up about that much. I'm trying to just follow the directions. I'm sorry, the Z-axis. I'm trying to just follow the pictures, what's inside. If you're trying to follow along, I just finished with page 47. And so now we're going to extrude a little bit more. Now I'm on page 48. We're going to extrude a little bit more, and it's going to look like this. And then we're going to scale down the vertices a bit. So remember to do that. We hit S. And I'm moving mine to the left. Okay. That looks about right. I might move it down just a little bit. You know, hey, it's your modeling. You can do with it what you want, just as long as it looks good. I'm going to scale it in just a little bit more. All right. Okay. All right, so then they want me to extrude up about, it says halfway up the castle wall. So I'm just going to make a guess about right there or so. And then, let's see, I'm going to extrude up just a little bit more. And then I want to scale it out. So I'm moving my cursor to the right. Okay, I'm going to scale about right there. All right. Okay, so I'm going to extrude up a little bit more, so about right there. Extrude up again, and this one we're going to scale back in. I'm going to make it about the width of the one that we just did right before. And I'm going to scale this one in, so I'm going to go left. I'm going to make it so that, again, it's kind of up to you. I'm just kind of following the pictures. And then they want us to go extrude all the way up so that we're in the middle of the catwalk. That looks good. And then what do they want us to do? Then scale them out a bit. Well, this is always the tricky part. Okay, so what they want us to do is they want us to extrude up a bit. And then they want us to scale out. And then they want us to take this widget arrow and move it back down. So we're kind of making like a platform almost to do that. Bring the widget, yep. Okay, and so now we're going to extrude that up a little bit. All right, we're going to extrude it up again. Now this is kind of the tricky part too. We're going to scale it back down until these vertices, I'll show you. See these vertices? this vertex and this vertex, they line up. Okay, that's what we want because we're going to bring that back down just like that. Okay, we did that with the blue widget arrow. Alright, and so now we're going to extrude up above the cornice blocks. So it's about right there, so I might take it up just a little bit more. And then we're going to extrude up a little bit more by hitting the E key, of course. I'm assuming you know how to extrude. And then scale, of course, again, S. I'm moving mine to the left. We're scaling it out. Okay. And then we're going to extrude up again and to about right there. All right. So that looks like we're out of, or that looks like part of our tower anyway. And so we're going to deselect these vertices by hitting A. We're going to tab out of edit mode and we're going to go to solid mode, Z. And so we just want to kind of see, ooh, look how nice that looks. Nice little column. That's nice. All right. So then I believe what we're going to do with the tower selected, I'm reading right from page 59. With the tower selected, press the origin button and press the tower's origin to geometry. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but my origin is kind of in a different place than yours. It's just because I'm using 2.69 and you're using just a little bit newer version, but it's still the same. I think yours is dark gray. So while we have this selected, see how our origin is down here right now where the widget arrows is? We want that to be in the middle. So origin to geometry. You notice how that moved up to the middle, okay? And so we're going to name this tower 1. So again, I like to do it over here. I can always find the one that's selected by its white. And so this is going to be tower 1. Now don't think that we're going to have to do this 3 more times, y'all. We're about to duplicate this, which is a really cool thing after we do our cornice blocks. Okay, so then we're going to save it, file, save as, and we are on page 59. Page 59. Wow, that took that was 16. 59. All right, and hit save. So now we're going to work on the cornice blocks for on top of the tower. So let's take it out of the solid mode. So let's go to wireframe by hitting Z, and we are going to deselect that tower, and we are going to go to the top view, which is number pad 7. And we are already in wireframe mode, and so I'm going to zoom in a bit on this one. So remember, I shift middle mouse button down, and it works when it wants to. There it goes. It's being a little laggy tonight. And so I am going to put my cursor in the middle. So, but rather than guessing where my cursor is, what I can do is I can choose this tower, and then I can hit Shift S for snap, and then I want to take my cursor to my selected. So what that means is my cursor now is right there in the middle, right there at that origin of the thing, and that's going to make it, we're about to add a plane, and so that's going to put that plane right in the middle of my tower, and I'm not going to have to make any guesses. Okay, so we're in object mode. I'm going to hit Shift A, and I'm going to add a plane mesh object, and then I am going to go to front view, which is number 1. And I'm going to use the translate widget just like I did the last time to move it down. I am going to move it up just right above the tower. And then I'm going to scale that up a little bit so that it's the same size as my tower. Let's see, scale it. Whoops, scale it again. All right, there we go. Okay. So now what we can do is something really cool. We can actually, you've seen this over here before, you just didn't know what it was, is that this little eye over here can turn the object on and off in our view. So we're going to turn off the castle walls, the catwalk, the cornice blocks. We're going to turn everything off, including the tower. Okay, so all we're going to have left is the plane left so that we can just focus on that. Okay, we're going to go into edit mode by pressing tab. And then we are going to extrude up a bit on the Z axis. So E, and then Z. Sorry, I took it off Z. Okay, so we're going to extrude up just a little bit like that. All right, and we're going to deselect those vertices. We're going to go into edge select mode. Let's see, right here. All right, and I'm going to middle mouse button around a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. And so I'm going to select the top face. So you might have to move it around to kind of see. And so I'm going to select that face. I'm right clicking to do that. And then I'm holding down shift and I'm right clicking that one. And so now again we're going to subdivide this thing just like we did the castle walls. If you remember, we're going to hit Control R. Now we're going to do something different, a little bit different. So you can start with either way. We're going to actually divide this into 8 cuts either way. So I'm just going to start this way. And so now without pressing anything, you're going to roll your middle mouse button up so that we can look for 8 loops. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to left click and left click again to set it down. Okay, and so now I'm going to do the exact same thing and I'm going to hit Control R again, and now I want to cut it the other way. So there's my purple line going the other way. So middle mouse button up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left click, and then you got to left click twice because if you don't, it might move the lines. Okay, so let me move this down so you can see it. Okay, all right, so now what we're going to do is okay, so now we're going to do face select. So there's my faces, and I can never see which ones are my top faces and which one are my bottom. So just like I did on the catwalk, I'm going to go, oh, that's so much better. Okay, so remember I'm going to right click and then I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to choose every other one. I'm going to pause it while I do this. Whoops. You're just going to go around the outer edge. That's all you want to do. Okay, I'm going to pause it while I do it. All right, guys, so I have selected every other face, and so now we're going to go into front view, which is number pad 1, and I just lost my thing. All right, and we are going to extrude on the Z axis. Oops, okay. And then it's not a specific amount, but just so it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like that. So let's tab into object mode. It says tab into object mode, and we want to name this Cornice Tower 1 Cornice Blocks. Tower 1 Cornice Blocks. Okay, so we got that. You guessed it, we want to set the origin to geometry. It's always a good idea to set, once you've finished modeling an object, to always set the origin to geometry. Notice how that origin moved. All right, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to see what this all looks like. So we're going to turn the castle walls, the catwalk, the cornice blocks, and the tower back on. And so now it looks like, it looks like it's up a little bit too far. That space shouldn't be there, so I'm just going to move it down. My object is selected, and so I'm just going to move it back down. There we go. There. Wow. Well, it looks kind of cool. All right. There we go. All right, so the beauty about duplicating is that we did this first one, and now we're going to duplicate every one of these so that we don't have to remake them. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our file. So that brought us to 67. Save as 67. Okay, save. All right, so now let's go ahead and duplicate. Select the Tower 1 object. Okay, so we're going to select this one. So make sure you have that one selected. We're going to go to top view, which is number pad 7. We're going to go to wireframe display mode. We're going to choose Alt D. Alt D. Okay. And then left click it. Says, ooh, oh, okay, there's our duplicate object. And then left click. Okay, it says, and then left click. The link duplicate tool creates a duplicate object, but it creates a link between the original and duplicate. Okay, so the reason that we did Alt D is that when we go to apply like a texture to Tower 1, because we linked it to Tower 1, because we're about to link all these towers, what we did one will happen to all. And so that's why we are duplicate linking them. Okay. All right, so we're going to move this over. We're going to use our widget arrows to move it over. And then I'm going to that origin is about right in the middle. That looks pretty good. All right, so we're going to do this again. Oh, sorry, I forgot to name that object too. So over there where it says tower1.001, we're going to name it tower 2. Okay, so go back to the first tower again. You don't want the cornice plus, there you want the tower. There you go. And you're going to hit Alt D again. And then actually, it has you set it down, but actually you have control of it right now if you want to go ahead and move it down whichever way that you want to. I guess probably grabbing it is probably not the best way to go. I probably could have. All right. Yeah, I want it kind of right there. And then you guessed it, we're going to call this Tower 3. Tower 3. And then we always want to go back to the very first one and make sure that we choose that one. So Alt D, make sure that you're hitting that Alt. And then I'm just going to drag it over here and try to place it. See that the origin, the orange dot in the middle? I'm trying to put it down right there in that corner so that we can see it. Okay, there we go. And you guessed it, we're going to name that Tower 4. Tower 4. Okay. All right, so we are going to do the same thing with the cornice blocks, okay? And the reason that we're not putting these together is that we're doing these separately is because when we go to put texture on them, the wall texture, it really, you have to do the cornice blocks separately from the tower. So there is a reason why we do this. So now with the cornice blocks chosen, we do Alt D. We can move it over here if you want. I'm going to put that again right there in that corner on top of, and this is going to be Tower 2 cornice blocks. So I'm going to take away that .001, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to find my Tower 1 and do Tower 2. All right. I am not going to show you how to do the rest of these. So pretty much what you're going to do, you're going to choose the cornice blocks, Alt D, move it down to Tower 3, rename it. Alt D, Tower 4, rename it. So I'm not going to waste video time showing you that. I think you can do that. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, y'all, so I have duplicated my cornice blocks now for both towers 3 and 4. And so over here you notice that I have a tower 4 cornice blocks. Where's all my other tower? I've changed the names. All right, hold on, got to change the names. It's a good thing I checked that. I don't know what happened, but so now I do have a Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, and Tower 4 cornice block. I renamed all those, and it's like it didn't take. Okay, so we are now on page 70, so let's go ahead and File, Save As. And we didn't get very many pages there, but that's okay. So we are, oh gosh, page 70. All right, so now we're going to make our gatehouse. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our 3D cursor back on. I'm going to deselect everything. There we go. We're in object mode, and I'm going to put my 3D cursor on 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I'm right in the middle. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to go to front view, Notepad 1, which we are already there. We're going to hit Shift A. Shift A if I'm in the mic. There we go. not Shift S. Goodness. Shift A, there we go. And we are going to add a mesh plane object, and then we are going to rotate that 90 degrees on the x-axis, 90 degrees. We are going to set our dimensions, so our dimensions to 20 by 10. And so we're going to go to number pad 7 for the top view, which we already are in. Oh, I was supposed to be in front view before I will. And we are going to move our gatehouse out so that we can see it out in front of our walls. So it's going to be kind of out here. Notice how it's already centered because we put the cursor in the middle when we added this object. I'm just trying to get it put in the right place. That looks good. All right. Okay, so we want to make sure, see how our 3D cursor is not here right now, but we want it to be in the middle. So we're going to hit Shift S because we're about to move our cursor so that it's in the middle of our object because we're about to add a circle. So we want to snap our cursor to the selected. Notice how that cursor went right to the middle of the origin. Okay, so now we are going to, I need to be in front view, I think. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift A. And I'm going to add a mesh circle. And I need to rotate this 90 degrees on the x-axis. And we haven't used scale before, so scale's right here. We're going to scale this up 3 by 3. All right, so there's our circle. And we're going to tab into edit mode. We're going to deselect the vertices by hitting A. We're going to scroll in there. Oh, we got to make sure we're in vertex mode. That's why we can't see any of those vertices in the circle. We're going to box select the bottom vertices, okay? So imagine the diameter. In fact, you can kind of see that red line going through the diameter of the circle. We're going to box select all those vertices below that diameter. So right there. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of those vertices. So we're going to delete vertices. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to box select these bottom 2 vertices, and we're going to extrude. We're making the doorway right now. So we're going to extrude, and we want to make sure and confine it to the z-axis, and we're going to extrude it down so that the gatehouse is that bottom layer or the bottom level right there. So we're going to extrude it down, and we're going to stop it right there. Okay, we're going to tab back into object mode. All right, so we're going to select the gatehouse, and it says with all the vertices selected, press the X key and delete only faces. So X key, oh, got to tab back into edit mode. X key, we're going to delete the faces. Oh, whoops, Control Z. Maybe was there a delete only faces? Oh look, yes there was, because mine completely went away. Oh, there it is. Only the face. We only want the face deleted. We want the edges and the vertices to be there. Okay, so deselect the vertices. We did that. Select the bottom 2 vertices of the plane object and press the X key and delete the edges. Okay, so what that says is we're going to box select these 2 bottom vertices down here, and we're going to delete the edges. Delete edges. All right, and the edge is gone, but the vertex is still there. All right, and so they just said to select all by hitting A just to see that we have the 3 other edges but not this bottom edge. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to Oh, we're going to join these two together. Okay, so we want to be in object mode, so make sure that you're in object mode. The plane is already selected, so we're going to select this as well by holding down the shift button and right clicking on that. And we are going to Control J. Control J means join, which now it has become one object. Okay, so we have combined those two objects into one. So we're going to tab into edit mode, and we're going to select, it says select the two bottom right vertices and press the F key. Okay, so what they want us to do is they want us to box select these two bottom right vertices, and then we're adding an edge back. Essentially. So when we hit F for face, it's really, we can add edges that way too. So there's an edge there. Deselect, box select these two left-hand vertices. We're going to say F for face, and that adds that the edge back. So, okay. Okay, so now we're going to oh, we got to add a face back on this. So now that we combine them together, this is kind of the freaky part. It's kind of neat. Okay, so we want to select all and press Alt F is what it says. Alt F. Alt F. See how all those lines go in, kind of creating that face. Let's see. Deselect vertices. A. There we go. Tab into object mode. Okay, and then we're going to name this gatehouse. So where's my object? There it is. See, I noticed it because it was in white. We're going to name this gatehouse. Okay. It says go to solid display mode, so Z. Here we go. So there's my gatehouse. It's not very dimensional right now, is it? So we're probably going to add some dimension to it. All right, so let's see, what are we doing next? Okay, so it says go to wireframe mode, go to top view, number pad 7, select the gatehouse object. It is selected. Tab into edit mode. There's my edit mode. Select all the vertices, so the easy way to do that is to hit A. Press the A key and extrude the vertices along the y-axis as shown. Okay, so what they're showing me here is they want me to extrude on the, what did I say, what axis? Y-axis. And then they want me to extrude all the way back until I have hit the back of that catwalk. Okay, so it says to deselect, tab into object mode, go to solid display, and so they're just showing you what that looks like now. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. Alright, so it says notice that the inside of the arch curve is very faceted. Okay, so they're talking about this part in here. Notice how we can really tell those edges with the vertices. We're about to smooth that. Okay, so that's what they want us to go to. So we're going to go to front view, number pad 1. We're going to tab into edit mode. Let's get out of yeah, the wireframe. We're going to box select the just the arches, the ones that make up the arch. So we're going to box select just those, and what we're going to do is over here, now for mine, shading, it's in my shading tools. I don't know where my shading is. Mesh tools, I'm looking for shading. On yours it's going to be looking a little bit different. Shading right here. Mine looks different than yours. So mine says shading smooth. Yours is going to go. Yours is going to be like a little pull down menu over here on the side that says like shading in UV or something like that. But anyway, you click smooth, and so when you go into solid mode for that and take away a object mode, now you can see that that is really nice and smooth, and you don't see those little edges anymore. So that's what we just did there. Alright, so we're getting to about 30 minutes on this video, so we are going to save for this one, and we'll continue the gatehouse on the next video on part 3. Okay, see you later. Oh, you know what? Let's go in and save. We are now on page 80. So file, Save as, page 80. Alright, I'll see you in part 3, page 80. We're almost finished, y'all. We're almost to page 96 is the end of the modeling. Alright, see you later.